What it do, what it do. Alright guys, y'all gotta come on in and check out the video.
I don't know. Tom, you better bring this home. There's no excuse.
Come on in and check out the video. New video, new video, new video.
I want to thank everybody. I want to thank our next Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance. And I especially want to thank the great state of Minnesota. Before we begin, I want to condemn the evil attack on Israel that took place earlier today. A missile launched by Hezbollah killed at least a dozen children, young children. And they were playing, as you heard, on a soccer field in Israeli territory on the Golan Heights, a place that I recognized during my administration as under Israel's sovereignty. It was a big thing. I've been trying to get it done for 72 years. I got it done in about 1 hour. The savage Hezbollah terrorists struck these children with an Iranian precision missile. Dozens more were wounded in the attack, and sadly, the death toll is probably going to go very substantially higher. Our hearts go out to the families of these innocent children. No parent should have to suffer the terrible loss of a child at the hands of terrorists or anybody else. Today's attack on Israel cannot be forgotten, and it will go down as another moment in history created by a weak and ineffective United States. Bring this home. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. Tom Emmer, great guy. We're going to bring this home. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank our next Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance. And I especially want to thank the great state of Minnesota. Before we begin, I want to condemn the evil attack on Israel that took place earlier today. A missile launched by Hezbollah killed at least a dozen children, young children. And they were playing, as you heard, on a soccer field in Israeli territory on the Golan Heights, a place that I recognized during my administration as under Israel's sovereignty. It was a big thing. I've been trying to get it done for 72 years. I got it done in about 1 hour. The savage Hezbollah terrorists struck these children with an Iranian precision missile. Dozens more were wounded in the attack, and sadly, the death toll is probably going to go very substantially higher. Our hearts go out to the families of these innocent children. No parent should have to suffer the terrible loss of a child at the hands of terrorists or anybody else. Today's attack on Israel cannot be forgotten, and it will go down as another moment in history created by a weak and ineffective United States President and Vice President. They wouldn't have done this if I were the President. They wouldn't have done it. And they didn't. With time, this situation will only get worse for our country with the kind of leadership that we have right now, which is no leadership. It's probably worse than no leadership. It's negative. It's negative leadership. It must galvanize Republicans, Democrats, independents, conservatives, progressives, libertarians, and everybody else to put strength, respect, and power back into the USA where it belongs. This attack, just like the attack on October 7th or the Ukraine-Russia war, think of it, Norwood country busting inflation. You know, inflation is destroying our country. None of it would have happened. It would have never happened if we were president. It wouldn't have happened. It's a dangerous and terrible time for the world. And it's almost the entire fault of incompetent Biden-Harris administration. She who says that she wasn't the border czar. She wasn't the border czar for 3 years. She was the border czar. She let it be known, I am the border czar. Then she never went to the border. These are She's terrible. She's worse than he is, I'll tell you right now. I want to be nice. They all say, I think he's changed. I think he's changed since 2 weeks ago. Something affected him. No, I haven't changed. Maybe I've gotten worse, actually, because I get angry at the incompetence that I witness every single day, the way millions of people are pouring into our country. And that's the thing that must change. And it must change quickly. It's great to be back in this beautiful state with thousands of proud, hard-working American patriots. As you know, 6 days ago, we officially defeated the worst president in the history of the United States, crooked Joe Biden. Have you heard of him? He was badly beaten, and everybody went to him and said, Joe, you can't win, you can't win. He said, no, let me debate him. Let me debate him, please. That didn't work out too well either. That was the end. The debate was the end. You can't beat him, Joe. Now we just beat you, Joe. You're going to lose. You got to get out. We want to get out. You got to get out, Joe. There was nothing nice about what they were doing. It wasn't democracy, was it? It wasn't democracy. They were saying, we want you out of the race, Joe, and we want you out here. You're going to lose. These are quotes from some of the fake news. Look at all the fake news back there. Wow. That's a lot of fake news, man. That's a lot of fake news, Mike. Joe, you're going to lose. We want to put somebody else in. And then I realized last night I was speaking to a great group of people, Christians, all Christians, and they've been horribly treated by this administration. Today I spoke to Bitcoin crypto. So I went from Christians to Bitcoin, and now I'm with you in Minnesota. We cover a lot of territory. Think of that. So Christians to Bitcoin to Minnesota. We cover a lot of territory. And I never mess it up by saying, let me tell you about Bitcoin. I don't do that, no. Remember Biden, of course I don't want to talk too much about him, but when he was in Iowa, and he said, it's great to be in Idaho. No, if I ever did that once, it would be the end. They'd say that's the end. He's cognitively impaired. That would be the end. The fake news would go crazy. But I thought last night as I was speaking to this incredible group of evangelicals and a lot of others of faith, it's, well, you like that, don't you, huh? Yeah. That means our country's coming a long way, because you put faith back, you put religion back into our country, it's going to be a much better place. When I thought last night, I said, you know, it's sort of unfair. You have a guy, he says he's great, he's president and all that stuff, they rigged the election, but we won't talk about that. And they say he's president, so he comes out, and he comes out raring to go, and he gets badly beaten, he's losing, and all of a sudden he's like a fighter. He's losing. Then they took him out of the fight and they put a new fighter. We have a new victim now, Kamala. We have a new victim. We have a brand new victim. And honestly, she's a radical left lunatic, and she is, when you find out about her, all I have to say is, defund the police. That was her big thing. Let's defund the police. And as I often say, you know, politicians don't change. Whatever they say first, that's where they are. They don't change. Wouldn't you say that, Tom? Whatever they say, if they said 5 years ago, 8 years ago, defund the police, she said it like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. But so if that's what they say, that's ultimately where they want to go. But this was really a coup and by the Democrats. This was a coup of a man that had 14 million votes. He wanted to run. They wouldn't let him run. They treated him horribly. They said to him, we can do it the nice way or we can do it the hard way. To Joe, he's president. This was a coup with the presidency. They threatened him with the 25th Amendment. They said, Joe, we're going to threaten you with a thing called the 25th Amendment. You're cognitively and physically a mess. And if you don't get out, we're going to take you out with the 25th Amendment. And he said, I'll go. And then the fake news said, oh, he was so brave. He was so brave. No, he was forced to leave. So now we have a new candidate to defeat the most incompetent, unpopular, and far-left vice president in American history, probably the most far-left person in American history. Less than 4 months from now, Minnesota is going to defeat Kamala Harris. And remember what I said a short time ago, she strongly fought for many, many bad things, but to me, I love the police. We're not defunding them. We're going to fund them. We're going to overfund them. She's just thinking. She's defund the police, and I'm overfund the police. We're going to overfund. We're going to evict this radical and incompetent administration from the White House, and together we are going to make America great again. With your vote this election, inflation will stop, the illegal aliens will be turned back, the cartels will be in retreat, crime will fall, energy prices will plummet, incomes will soar, and a world in chaos will rapidly be transformed into a planet of peace. And very importantly, and you don't hear this anymore, the words you don't hear under the Trump administration, the American dream will come roaring back bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. The American dream will come back, right? But if a crazy liberal, and she's beyond liberal, look, she was a failure at every step. She was a failed vice president. She was a horrible district attorney. She destroyed San Francisco. She was a liberal she was there before all the guys that you're currently reading about, right? If a crazy liberal like Kamala Harris gets in, the American dream is dead. I believe it's dead. I believe it's dead. Over the past 3.5 years, Border Czar Harris, which is what she called herself, even the New York Times today, they took an article out of the New York Times, Border Czar. Now, you know, they're deleting everything that says, these people back there are deleting everything, but we already have it. You know, 3 months ago, she was thought of so badly they were just killing her. And now that she's in this position, they're trying to make her into a, let's say, Margaret Thatcher. I don't think so. It's not going to happen. Margaret Thatcher didn't laugh like that, did she? Did she laugh? If she did, she wouldn't have been Margaret Thatcher. It's very simple, right? Border Czar Harris allowed almost 20 million illegal aliens to stampede into our country. If she gets another 4 years, it'll be 40 to 50 million more people in our country, and they'll be using Medicare and Social Security. They will be gone. They'll be wiped out. They'll be destroyed. And there won't be a thing your government can do about it. She will kill Social Security and Medicare. As Vice President, Kamala Harris cast the tie-breaking votes that created the worst inflation in half a century. I believe the worst inflation that we've ever had. You know, they don't use the real numbers. They don't use the numbers that are really, really bad. But they're bad enough to have the worst just about that anybody can ever even think of or remember, decimating working families. And if she wins, inflation will only get worse. It's going to get worse. Already energy and gasoline are going up. You see what's happening? More and more per gallon. We had it down to $1.87. We actually had it lower than that for a period of time. A Kamala Harris presidency means 4 more years of extremism, weakness, failure, chaos. and probably World War III. I really believe it. They have no, that's why this happened today in Israel. Shocking that it happened out of nowhere. A Trump victory will bring back leadership, competence, common sense, and strength to the Oval Office. That's what we had. We had no wars. We had no wars. Think of it. We had no wars. Remember when crooked Hillary Clinton used to say, he's going to get us into a war. Look at him. Look at his rhetoric. I said, no, my rhetoric's going to keep us out of wars. That's what happened. We had no wars. They didn't think about it. Putin would have never got in. Iran was broke. I told China, if you buy 1 barrel of oil from Iran, you're not doing any more business in the United States. And they didn't buy any. They didn't buy any. And we would have had to deal with Iran within 1 week after the election if the election didn't take that horrible turn. You know, we got millions more votes the second time than we did the first. The New York Times asked me, what happened the second time? I said, the second time we got like 10 million more votes, right? Oh, I never thought of that. The reporter said, oh, yeah, you're right, actually. Let's go to another question. But let's review Kamala's insanely liberal record. As a senator, she was ranked the #1 most radical left Democrat in the entire Senate. They say she made Bernie Sanders look like a moderate. He was unhappy with that today, did you say? He said, oh, no, I think I might have been more liberal than her. They were fighting over who's more liberal. If this country has a liberal president, this country is finished, okay, just so you know. And she's weak liberal. Just a few years ago, Kamala Harris co-sponsored Bernie Sanders' $32 trillion. You know what that means? That means file for bankruptcy as you're signing the legislation. Everything is gone. Your taxes will go up by 4 or 5 times, and it still won't be nearly enough. $32 trillion socialist takeover of the entire U.S. healthcare system. She endorsed outlawing private health insurance entirely. Many people have private health insurance. It's phenomenal. If they work hard and they make a little money, they want to have great health insurance. She wanted it outlawed. She supported giving free taxpayer-funded health care to all illegal aliens. Come on in. Come on in. Now, but just think of it. Everybody that comes into our country, including from prisons, mental institutions, insane asylums, you know, they go crazy when I mention Dr. Hannibal Lecter. You know who that was? They say, why does he keep mentioning Hannibal Lecter? Well, you see, he was a slightly troubled patient in an insane asylum, and he'd love to have you for dinner, you right there. He'd love to have you for dinner. But I mentioned him because we have people like that coming into our country. They're closing their insane asylums all over the world. They're sending their criminals into the United States. Venezuelan crime is down 72%. Because they're sending their criminals and their drug dealers and their prisoners to the United States. And next year, I think, instead of being here, which is a great place, I love this place, we'll go to Venezuela or someplace in South America where they've sent all the criminals to us, because we'll have a nice, safe event. We can go to Venezuela next year where the crime drops 72%, and we're going to have a nice, safe event because in Minnesota, you will have lots of people that you don't have now, although many of them are here now. They're just sort of getting used to it. You'll have people from their jails and from their mental institutions in Minnesota. So we'll go to a nice, safe location. She co-sponsored the $100 trillion Green New Scam to abolish oil, coal, and natural gas. She pledged to ban fracking. No fracking. Oh, that's going to do well in Pennsylvania, isn't it? Remember Pennsylvania, I said it. She wants no fracking. She's on tape. The beautiful thing about modern technology is when you say something, you're screwed if it's bad. If you say it wrong, you're screwed. She said, I never said about fracking. Then we play about 90 tapes, you know. There will be no fracking. We will defund the police, she says. I have to be very careful when I say that, because if I say we will defund the police, imitating her, they'll put me on television tonight saying, Donald Trump wants to defund the police. Right? You gotta be very careful, Tom. Sarcasm doesn't work when you have a crooked press. You know, when I imitated him, Because Biden, and I don't want to waste a lot of time, because it's over now, right? He's gone. I told you he would be. I told you he wasn't going to make it. I told you. In the debate, and they called for the debate, they wanted it early. I said, okay, I accepted every rule. Everyone said, why did you do that? I mean, you accepted CNN, you accepted fake Tapper, you accepted all of these things. Why did you do that? So I said, because it's the only way, because they thought I wouldn't do it. So I said yes, and they were shocked. But we had the debate, right? And he kept saying, like, they'd say Jake Tapper, fake Tapper. But I have to tell you, they were very fair. They, in my opinion, they were very fair. 95%. You can't ask for, I was shocked. They gained a whole level of respect. I really mean it. CNN and both of them, they gained a level of respect, right? Don't you think so? I do. I told them that. I called them both up. But I never saw a debate like this, so you know, we give it a certain period of time, and I'm running. I got to talk very fast because there's so many things to say. My mind is rushing, boom, and I hit it right on the button. But they kept saying to, sir, you have 92 seconds left. What? You have 92 seconds left. And I said, I'll take it. They said, no, you're not allowed to. You have 92 seconds. And he was like, oh, next question. So you have 38 seconds remaining. What? Oh. So we got off to a good start. But from the time of the...
We're listening here to former President Donald Trump speaking in St. Cloud, Minnesota. We do have to step away for our final commercial break of...
They crank out. We conjure up.
We're not going to let her turn the United States into communist San Francisco. You know, 15 years ago, San Francisco was perhaps the greatest city in the country. And now it's unlivable. It's unlivable. The crime is so bad. The drugs are so bad. She has ruined it. She was the original of the bad DAs. She was the original of the bad prosecutors. She blew them all away. There are a lot of people that say she destroyed San Francisco. She will destroy our country. She will destroy. And moderate, you know what? We can maybe live with moderate, but we have to bring our country back. We've gone down a long way. Remember this. Out of the 20 million people, and probably much more than that came in, so many, they have to be taken out. We're going to have the largest deportation effort in the history of our country. The criminals, we have to get them out immediately. Every voter in Minnesota needs to know that when the violent mobs of anarchists and looters and Marxists came to burn down Minneapolis 4 years ago, remember me? I couldn't get your governor to act. He's supposed to call in the National Guard or the Army, and he didn't do it. I couldn't get your governor. So I sent in the National Guard to save Minneapolis while Kamala Harris sided with the arsonists and rioters and raised money to bail out the criminals, bail them all out of jail. I kept waiting for his call. Remember the guy from CNN, the reporter, so-called? I won't use his name, I don't want to embarrass. Shaved head, nice looking head, actually. And he goes, this is a friendly demonstration. And behind him, the entire city was burning. Remember, it was like a war zone. The entire city was burning down. And as he was speaking, somebody threw like a hand grenade at his feet and broke his knee. This is a friendly rally. No, you know what's a friendly rally? This is a friendly rally. So bad. there are 25,000 people outside that cannot. If you people all go and vote, now look.
For what? For what?
There's no way we lose it. There's no way we should lose this state. The other day, Kamala had 972 people, we counted it. They said it was 2,000, and that's okay. But they said she had a massive crowd of 2,000 people. It wasn't, it was under 1,000. But this, they never talk about this. Take a look at that. That's great camera work. I know it's not a news camera, because they don't do that. Even the ones that are on our side. They don't show the crowd size. I love crowd size. We've always had the biggest crowds. In history, there's never been anything like this. Now, you had to see, we drove from the airport to here, and practically the whole way, there were just thousands and thousands of people. It's incredible. If they don't cheat, we win this state easily, okay? They cheat. They have no shame. They cheat. Do you understand that, you crooked people that are most crooked? They cheat. They cheated in the last election, and they're going to cheat in this election, but we're going to get them. They used COVID to cheat. And this time they'll try and find something, but we think we have them blocked. They have no shame whatsoever. You know, the amazing thing is the press, when they write about this rally tomorrow, they'll say President Trump was here, he had a small smattering of people. A small, delicate crowd of a few people. Sometimes they'll say a few hundred people. They never talk about it, and they never show the crowd, no matter, look at the corner. See the corner of the room? Turn your camera right up in that corner. See that corner? See that corner up there? See that corner up there? See that corner? Look at that. Look at him. Look at that guy. He's going crazy up there. He loves it. He's going crazy. He's got the worst seat in the House, and he's got more attention than anybody. Look at him. But those cameras will never turn, will they, huh? See, I'm watching the cameras. They're not turning because they don't want to turn, because they don't want to show what's happening. This is the greatest movement in the history of our country, and if we don't win this election, our country is finished. You know, I used to plead with the fake news, but now I learned it's not worth it, but I plead, show the crowd, please show the crowd. You know, I say, show the crowd. And they'd keep that camera blaring right in my face. They'd show it as tight as possible, as tight as you can. And I'd say, you gotta show the crowd, you gotta show it. And I actually thought in 2015 and 2016 when I started, because we had these crowds from the beginning, I have to say now they're bigger and better and stronger, I think, than ever before. Bigger, better, look at that. That's, when I say the corner, you know the place is packed if those seats are gone. But I love that one guy up there, he's going crazy. We've made him a star, but I used to say, turn the camera, turn it. I went through, and I never understood, because it's actually good for them. It shows that people are watching something, so I figured it would be easy. Even the bad ones, they should do it. They should show the kind of crowd size. And they wouldn't do it. Even the friendly ones, I won't mention names, okay? But you know who I'm talking about. Friendly, they would never show the crowd. And then I realized what it must be. It's a metal object, and I figured they couldn't turn the camera because it's on steel tripods, and I figured it's very rigid. And then one night in late 2015, just prior to 2016, there was a terrible fight, like over there in the corner, where the only way a camera could get the fight would be to do a triple tripod loop, swirl underneath the people's legs. And that camera, I've never seen any piece of steel bend so much. It was like, they got every second of that fight. I said, you mean the cameras do turn very well? And they do. That was when I learned it's fake news, it's just fake news. But they won't show this crowd, they won't show it. But more impressive than this crowd is honestly the people outside. You have thousands and thousands of people. So we love them. We love them. We love them. We love you all. How good is this place? What a state. I think I should move here. No, but we have a lot of states. They all see what's happening to our country. They're all incredible. We always have packed houses, to put it mildly, like this. I mean, the spirit has never, ever been like this. We did great in 2016. We did better in 2020. There's never been spirit like this, Tom. I don't think we've ever had peak, never had spirit like this. Great hockey player, by the way. Great hockey player. Pop. Great hockey player. We've never had spirit like this, so we have to do, we're going to turn it around fast. We'll turn this thing around real fast. You're going to be so happy. Kamala urged her followers to donate to the so-called Minnesota Freedom Fund, helping raise $35 million to set loose violent offenders after they shot at police, looted your store, sexually assaulted innocent victims, and committed all sorts of other heinous crimes. One of the criminals Kamala helped bail out of jail was Sean Michael Tillman, very famous now, unfortunately, a repeat offender who, with Harris's help, was set free. She set free many very bad people. And then he went on a murder rampage. He killed a man on a train platform in St. Paul, shooting him 6 times in the head. Okay? She just turned him free. Ultra-liberal Kamala Harris will deliver crime, chaos, mayhem, and death to our country. I will restore law and order, justice in America. With your vote, we will get the gang members, drug dealers, and dangerous criminals the hell out of our states. We'll get them off our streets. We'll put them behind bars. But what we're really going to do is send them back to the country from where they came. You know, a certain country in South America, and by the way, they're coming from all over the world. They're coming from the Congo, in Africa, 22 prisoners. Where do you come from, Congo? The good thing about these people is they make our criminals look like really nice people. It's true. Our criminals are now considered fine, upstanding people by comparison to these people. I told Dana White, UFC, do we love Dana White? How good was he at the convention? I said, Dana, I have a great idea. Take your great championship fighters from all over the world, your champions right now, but start another league, called it an illegal migrant league. And then take the best of those fighters and let them fight. I believe the migrants will win. I think it's crazy. You know, I told that little sort of sarcastic joke. The press went crazy with it. He wants to start a migrant league. He wants to start a migrant league. I was going to tell you when I was up here 2 months ago, I imitated Biden because he can't find the stairs ever. The stairs, 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 stairs. 2 stairs. Get so many stairs. Get so many stairs. It's like too many stairs. I don't know what the hell they need them for. They spend a lot of money. Government often will spend. Government has many more stairs than private. We put up like 1 stair. They put up like 12. But you always have a lot of stairs. So I'm imitating him and I'm being funny and I think I'm being so funny. And I had a tremendous crowd. We had 42,000 people. And I'm saying to the people, you know, when Biden gets off, do you ever notice? First of all, he doesn't make long speeches like that. Second of all, even though he can't read a teleprompter, he never goes off the teleprompter. It's a mess. It's a mess. And I was telling the people, I said, you know, do you ever watch when he's finished with his 2-minute speech? It never lasts more than 2, maybe 3 minutes. 3 is like a long speech. He goes, and he'll point at a stair. And then he'll walk. The stair, and then he won't be able to find the stair. This is what we have negotiating nuclear weapons with Putin, with Kim Jong-un, with President Xi of China. No, this isn't going to work out. Bad things are going to happen. But I called my wife. I said, who else could do it? Who else could do it? And 50,000 people. How great was my speech? How did I look? How great was it? It's on speech. I said, First Lady, how great did I look? She said, there was something wrong with your hair tonight, it looked like. She said, you were okay, but, you know, I had 50,000 people. Elvis didn't have 50, and he had a guitar. I had no guitar. I didn't have the use, right? Elvis had a guitar. He had a lot. We love Elvis, right? But he had a guitar. I don't have a guitar. So we'd have like 50, 60, 70. You know, he had 107,000 people in New Jersey, on the Jersey Shore. Wildwood, New Jersey was beautiful. We had 25,000 people in the South Bronx. And it was like a love fest. It was like a love fest. 25,000 people. And I said to the First Lady, how great was I tonight? I didn't like your hair. I didn't like that. I said, who the hell else can get 52, 58, 79? We had 79,000 people in South Carolina. Who can get it, First Lady? And she didn't care about that. Then I called her, finally, she said, you were great tonight. Oh, I said, that's great, thank you very much. And I said, how else? I mean, was it really good? Yeah, but there was a problem. Why couldn't you find your way off the stage? They said you couldn't find. So these people, I was playing and having fun, imitating Joe Biden not being able to find the stairs. And they said that Trump couldn't find the stairs off the stage. So I have to be very careful. Tonight I'll have a very bad night because I haven't done that little routine in a long time because of that. You were good, but you know, it looked really bad at the end, darling. You couldn't find the stairs. What's wrong with you? Nah, I can find the stairs. I'll let you know when it's my time not to find the stairs. I'm going to know. And I'm going to call Tom Emmer. I'm going to say, Tom, it's about time for me to go, okay? Nobody's going to have to tell me. You know, I get up and I don't even read the teleprompters most of the time. So I'll do 80, 90% of the speech off teleprompter. And they'll say, he mispronounced a word. He mispronounced a word. They had a word the other day, crooked. I said cricket. You know, and rather than go back and I don't like to go back because going back means you made a mistake. You just blast through it. He didn't know how to pronounce the word crooked. I've been saying it for years about these crooked politicians that we're dealing with. So you can't even make a little bit of a flub. But even after the rioters did hundreds of millions of dollars worth of damage in Minnesota, Kamala Harris declared the so-called peaceful protests, quote, are not going to let up, and they should never let up. we should continue to go forward. In other words, those protests were good. She thought they were wonderful. This woman will be a disaster as our president. This woman shouldn't even be a shot. And you know what? They have many better people than her, but they never gave them the chance. Many better people. I know all of them. Some are very good. Kamala Harris was the original Marxist district attorney. She destroyed San Francisco, and she will destroy our country. She will be the worst president we've ever had. She will be worse than crooked Joe Biden. The only thing is she won't have Hunter, so where's Hunter? Remember the sign we did, where's Hunter? That became, remember that one? I said, where's Hunter? The next day, my people are doing shirts. Where's Hunter? That was the big one.
We're listening here to former President Donald Trump speaking at a rally in St. Cloud, Minnesota. We have to step away for our first commercial break of the hour. We'll see you back here right after this.
He's not a 6, he's not an 8, and he's not a 30. He cannot break 100. I know. I can look at somebody and I can look at this way. He can't break 100, but I offered him $1 million. Now, as a 6 handicap, you can easily break 100. I said, I'll take you to any course you want, from the blue tees, which are, just moderate tees. I would give you $1 million if you can break 100. He decided to turn me down. He turned me down. Then I said, I'll give you 10 strokes aside. I'll give you 10 on the front, 10 on the back. I'll give you 20 strokes. I'll give you $1 million if you can beat me. He has no chance, okay? No chance. He didn't. But they talk a good game. It's all talk. It's good. It's all, pilots come to the White House. I used to be a pilot. My uncle was eaten by cannibals, right? Even though the stories say, no, he went down in a crash. But my uncle, if the truck drivers come in, I used to drive a truck. It was a very big truck. These people, I'm telling you, they are so bad. They're so bad. They're just evil people. But more importantly, they're destroying our nation. Nobody respects them. Everybody laughs at them. We're like a bunch of fools. We have a man that can't put 2 sentences together, and now we're replacing him with worse than he is, a dangerous person who's not smart. She couldn't pass a law exam, right? Have you heard that? These are minor details. She couldn't pass a bar exam. She took the bar exam. She couldn't pass it. She thought she'd never be able to pass it. This is what we have wanting to be up. Other than that, she's a very fine woman. I'd like to make that statement. No, she's a radical left lunatic, and she's going to destroy our country, and we're not going to let her do it because we're going to win this election in a landslide. Right? Kamala supports ending cash bail nationwide. No bail. If you kill somebody, that's okay. Come back whenever you're ready. We'll give you a little trial. Put you in jail for about 2 days. Which means releasing violent criminals immediately after arrest right onto the streets. She wants to abolish jail sentences for parole violators. She endorsed the funding of the police, and she sponsored a bill to strip police officers of legal protection. She wants the police officers to go out and protect themselves and defend themselves and hire lawyers. You got to go hire a lawyer. These lawyers would take what they make in 1 year, they'll take it out of their hides. You can't do that. We're going to give immunity to police so they can do their job. I'm giving federal immunity to police officers so they can do their job. I think that's good. She wants to leave our communities at the mercy of deranged criminals and violent mobs. Unlike Kamala Harris, under my leadership, we will never defund the police, and we will give our heroes the protection, resources, and respect that they so dearly deserve. We're not going to take away their pensions. We're not going to take away their homes. We're not going to destroy their lives and their families' lives. We are joined today by an incredible woman who I just met, took a picture backstage, Shannon Owen, the widow of Pope County Deputy Josh Owen last year. Very handsome. Josh was on his 44th birthday, right on his birthday. He was out for a steak dinner with Shannon and his 10-year-old son when he got a call to, there was a problem, a domestic disturbance. A short time later, Shannon got the news that her husband was shot and killed in the line of duty. Shannon, we grieve for your loss, and we know how great a man he was. The police officers told me, told everybody else how great a man he was, and we are immeasurably grateful for your sacrifice.